Hello and welcome to another episode of The Average EV. Today we're talking about the new Electrify America integration with all of the GM apps and products. Let's get into it. All right, everybody, so before we start this video, I want to talk about our sponsor, 3W Liners. 3W Liners was kind enough to send me some floor mats to try out, and I have really enjoyed them. First things first, they're made with Thorex material, so it doesn't use any sort of adhesives, and what that means is there's no smell. I was shocked when I took the mats out of the box, didn't smell anything. My previous floor mats, I did, wasn't a big fan of that. It eventually went away, but with these, no smell from the get-go. You can put them in your car and you can feel comfortable being in your car with you, your family, your animals, whatever it might be. Additionally, with Thorex, since it doesn't have adhesives, it is pet safe, so you can feel comfortable having your pets and their paws and their tongues and whatever else in your car, and they will be safe and sound. Additionally, this uses Vigor Mold technology, which keeps it super durable so it will last the test of time. Let's check out how these mats are holding up. Now it's winter time. I do not clean my mats during the winter because I don't see the point because they're just gonna get dirty again. But you can see all of the dirt and salt and all that's taken on, and down below my carpet is staying clean. There's a couple crumbs, but staying clean. I also like these caps here, they're covered. In a lot of floor mats, they won't be covered. And then like if you spill something, it could get through. Here, it's sealed. That way you can keep liquids from going down there. Really nice there. Let's check the back seat. I have a 5-year-old. He likes to make a mess. And there it is. You can see some cracker crumbs down there going on the floor mat, keeping my carpet clean down below. Certainly, once winter time's over, I'll take this out, clean these bad boys up. I guess I could run a vacuum if I wanted to. And for this video, they actually did send me the rear cargo area floor mat. Really like it, love the design. This matches the design throughout the vehicle. Again, these are all custom fit to each vehicle. So with the Equinox, it has the cutout here, doesn't have the cutout here, looks really nice. And what I really like about this, and I did not like about my old floor mats, you can pull the tab. I'll show you all actually. So there's the tab attached to the floor of the rear. You put it through, and now you can open this. It bends nicely and can access here, the sub trunk space, close that, you're good to go. So that's it about 3W Liners. If you're interested, and I think you should check them out if you need some mats for your car, you can go down below into the description, use the links there, and you can go ahead and purchase them. There's a little bit of a discount, so you can enjoy that and also enjoy some really nice floor mats for your car. Thanks again for watching, and let's get on to the video. All right, everybody, so first things first, I'm just gonna say this off the top of the video because a lot of people are wondering. This is not plug-in charge. There is currently no plug-in charge for GM vehicles at Electrify America. I've seen a lot of people confused about that in different forums and stuff like that. Not plug-in charge. I read the press release from GM, and it is exclusively when you go to activate a charge, you can either use any of the GM apps, so my Chevrolet, my Cadillac, I guess it's my GMC, or you can activate using the built-in navigation. I'm going to show you how to activate using the built-in navigation. I'll show you where you would activate in the phone app, and that is kind of how this is working out for GM vehicles. Just to give my initial impressions, I think it is nice. Some people simply don't want to have to deal with a bunch of apps. I'm actually one of them. I am getting app fatigue. I'm kind of tired of apps at this point. I want one app to rule them all. Or, honestly, I want plug-in charge everywhere. Universal plug-in charge. I set up an account with one entity, be it, you know, GM, Ayana, Electrify America, whatever. I set up plug-in charge with them, and then they do a certificate exchange when I plug in anywhere else. That is what I would really want. We're not there yet. It is in the works. We'll see how that pans out over time. But here we are, and we'll take this little integration they're choosing to do. So now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna show you what happened as I arrived at this site, where it showed me a pop-up notification, which you can select. And when you do that, it'll prompt you to then pick a charger. That is really nice. That also works at Tesla superchargers because, and Ayana, I believe, they have integration at all those sites. Anyways, then I'll actually do the process for you all, and then I'll give you my final thoughts. So let's go ahead, let's go back in time and look at that. So I got here, and it's a little bit of a mess. I'll show you all around, but that's not what this video is about. Anyways, a message did pop up. I'll show a little clip of that now, and you can click on that and it will tell you to pick a charger, and you can pick a charger. So that's one way. Other than that, I'll show you another way to do it. But first, let's figure out what charger I want to use. All right, everybody, so this is the situation I came upon. They didn't plow any of these stalls, so this location's pretty unusable. I just slipped on the ice. Looks like some cars are they're just trying. They got out eventually, it looks like. But anyways, so how do we go ahead and start a charge here? So again, the car would have prompted us. I'm gonna see if I can make this reach. Yes, I did slip if you're wondering. All right, so anyways, I'm gonna cut the video and plug this in. All right, so I'm plugged in, connecting the vehicle. This is not plug and charge though. So I do have to activate the charge. You can either activate the charge using your phone, which I'll show you all, but you can also activate here. So if I go to nearby, I'm gonna reload it. Yeah, not sure why that took so long, but here it is. So what you do, you click on it, it loads it. You gotta look for the charger. This is charger 3, you click that. You can look at the price details here, which is nice. And then start charging. So I press start charging there, and then over here, we should see, sorry about my hand being in the shot. We should see it start to activate. It did in fact activate. It says GM Energy Pass Plan. All right. And then coming back into the car. Oop, zoom out, there we go. You can plug in now. So I guess you can activate, activate first, then plug in, or plug in, then activate, because I plugged in, then activated. It's going here. And I am charging. So there's that. Worked well. And this is actually a new, from a new update. This is green now, which is really nice. I'm gonna turn that down from 100. There we go. So there's that, yeah. Pretty simple, works well. All right, everybody, so the charging session ended. We were able to successfully charge to 80% here. Here's the end screen. You can see that, let me zoom in a little bit. You can see that it did charge me the full rate of 56 cents per kilowatt hour. And then I am in my grace period right now. Gonna go ahead and unplug. If you would want to pay using your app, you simply go in, you click your initials, you scroll down, click public charging, Electrify America, make sure everything's set up there with your payment method. Then when you open your app, when you go to charge, you go to the map. There it shows I'm at the Electrify America. Click on the green icon, or you can scroll down and click there. Click charge. It pulls up this. You choose the stall that you're at. You click that, continue to start charging, and then you'll click start charging and your session will begin. All right, everybody, so I'm sure you're probably wondering, how does payment happen? How does that work? So essentially, it's just gonna charge whatever card you have attached to your My GM account. So on my Chevrolet, I have my bank card, I'm pretty sure, set up as my main card for that account. So once this transaction is over, it'll automatically pull from that, and then we'll be good. I will say this is actually a plus side compared to how Electrify America normally does things, because Electrify America actually pulls, I forget, it's either 10 or 20, it just keeps pulling it out instead of just charging you for what you charge for, which I always thought was annoying. But if you use the GM app experience, it's gonna just charge you for what you bought, you know, the energy you purchase. And that, in my opinion, is a good experience and a better experience normally than with Electrify America. If you want to look at a receipt, you can actually go into the My GM app and you can pull up the receipt. It shows some pretty basic information, but useful information about your charge session should you wonder about that later in time. All right, everybody, so that's how you go ahead and get charging for Electrify America when you're in a GM vehicle. Obviously, mine is Equinox specific. This should be the same for Blazer and Silverado. Might look a little bit different in the Lyric and the Optic and the Vistic and the Escaladic and all those other vehicles, but pretty much the same. So anyways, I want to give some thoughts here about this. First off, I do think it's a really great thing. Simplifying things for drivers is always good. You can just use your built-in display, don't have to use any apps at all. If you want to use an app, you can use your My Chevy app or My Cadillac app or My GMC app. Gives people options if they want. And of course, people can still, if they want, just plug in and use a credit card reader if it's working. So yeah, again, I think that's a good thing. A downside to this, and it has been an issue with the integration like this, like plug and charge and using vehicles' native apps, is there is no discount at this point in time. Now, maybe they can iron that out, but if you're a Pass Plus member and you want to get that 25% off rate, you're not going to get that when you activate using the infotainment or on your phone. This is an issue at pretty much everywhere. Same with Tesla. I don't activate using the built-in navigation because I want to get my Tesla discount, get that 25% off. So hopefully it's something they can work out with Electrify America. Hopefully it's something they can work out certainly with Tesla. Hopefully it's something they can work out with all of the CPOs that provide some sort of discount. It's just a downside and kind of defeats the whole purpose. And I know most people are probably going to want to save that percentage of money if it's their regular charging spot. So hopefully they can figure that out. But aside from that, I think this is great to make things easier. Again, I do want to mention, you can do this with not just Electrify America. You could have been doing this with Tesla. You've got EVgo. EVgo even offers Auto Charge Plus, so that's a plug-in charge like experience. You can, there's a couple others, Flow Canada, but I don't live in Canada, so I can't do that. And I forget the rest, so I'll put them right here or here. It'll be on one of the sides of the screen. And you can look at those. So it already does offer that same experience of being able to use the navigation or plug and charge in some instances. So yeah, thanks GM for, again, making this a nice experience for your customers. Hopefully they keep tweaking, making it better so that it can be the best experience. So again, thanks for watching. If you have any more questions, you can go and throw them down in the comments below. Share your experiences as well. That's always enriching for everybody who watches these videos. But anyways, if you haven't already, please remember to give a like, a subscribe, hit that hype button. That's right, there are hype buttons now. I don't know exactly how it works, but I think they're there for a limited time. So hit that hype button, you go down, you scroll a little bit and you'll see it. I think it might only be mobile too. But anyways, this is the longest outro in the world. Anyways, hit that hype button. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you all next time.